Hey guys, we're going to talk a little bit about how fractions look in word problems, okay? And there's two key questions you want to ask yourself whenever you're looking at fractions in word problems. And the first is, are we taking part of something? And the second is, are we breaking it up into parts, okay? So those are two questions that you ask yourself. Okay, read the question, break it down, sentence by sentence, take it in, and then ask yourself after it's over. Are we taking part of something, or are we breaking it up into parts, okay? So, just like we did the other day in class, we need to make sure we stop at every comma, every period, process that piece, and underline what's important to us, and really understand what the question's asking, okay? So, our first example here is, and remember, put yourself in the situation, like I said, make yourself understand what's going on by putting yourself in the situation. The first drop in the Titan at Six Flags is 255 feet. Okay, so process that. All right, imagine yourself going, get in line for the Titan. You're about to drop off 255 feet. The first drop of the Texas Giant is 11/20ths as high. Okay, so Texas Giant, the wooden roller coaster, you get on it, it's only 11/20ths as high as the Titan, okay? Now we want to find the height of the Texas Giant drop, okay? So we ask ourselves, are we taking part of something, or are we breaking it up into parts, okay? So we want to know what 11/20ths is of 255 feet. So we're not breaking 255 feet up into parts. We're saying we're going to take one part of it. We want to find 11/20ths of 255 feet. So when you're finding part of something, that's whenever you know you're going to be multiplying. Okay, so 255 times 11/20ths is the operation you will be making for this specific word problem. Okay, so let's move on to a different type of word problem. How many cheerleading uniforms can be made with 74 3/4 yards of fabric? Okay, so stop, process. Okay, so we're looking for how many cheerleading uniforms can be made. And we have this much fabric. Okay, so we got a lot of fabric. We want to know how many can be made. If each uniform requires 2 7/8 yards. Okay, so we have lots of fabric. We have one of them takes up 2 7/8, and we're breaking it up into pieces for individual uniforms. Okay, so we're not just taking one part of it, we're breaking it up into parts, breaking it up into pieces, okay? So that means we have to divide if we're breaking it up into individual pieces. So 74 3/4, you would divide 2 7/8. Okay? Y'all can go ahead and solve these out if you'd like, okay? I'm just showing you how to set them up. All right, next example. A box of cereal contains 15 3/5 ounces. If a box holds 2 2/5 ounces, if a bowl holds 2 2/5 ounces of cereal, okay, so we got a whole box, we got one bowl, we're sitting here about to sit down for breakfast, we got one box, one bowl. How many bowls of cereal are in one box? Okay, so we ask ourselves, are we just taking part of something, or are we breaking it up into parts? So breaking it up into pieces, okay? We have a whole box, and we want to break it up into multiple bowls. Okay, so that means we are going to divide. 15 3/5 divided by 2 2/5. Okay? All right, last example. Slovakians eat 320 pounds of bread a year. That's a lot of bread. Okay, so I'm a Slovakian, I'm eating lots of bread. Americans eat 1/5 as much. How much do Americans eat? Okay, so are we breaking 320 up into pieces? No, we just want to find 1/5 part of 320. So we're taking part of 320, taking 1/5 of it. So you're going to simply multiply 320 times 1/5 to get your answer. Thanks.